break down the action of match number 2 that was played on Sandhawk just a few moments ago, and it was quite intense. Shadow, I want to hear from you. What do you have to say about the players from Team T2K? I mean, they are literally called trained to kill.
Yes, they are definitely called trained to kill. They played smartly in the first match, and in the Sandhawk, they prioritized the zone. They were not going super aggressively, but when the fight was required, they went for it.
Yeah, but definitely we have to look at the MVP of this game as well, which this time is going to be 6-9 from the team A1 Esports, coming in with 4 kills, 886 damage, survival time of 23 minutes. 21 seconds. So I think A1 Esports, after the first game, after the early exit in match
number 1, that was a wake-up call for them, because this time they got a lot of kills for them, a lot of points secured already, and even though they did not get the chicken dinner, I think they sort of made up for it in the number of kills that they got. But we have the pentagraph in front of us, and well, 6-9 dominating in terms of kills and the damage. The entire server. Survival time almost reaching the maximum point as well. And, well, it is going to be there because they were the last ones to be taken out. Damage taken quite low. I really like it. But the lad has no assist, so wasn't really helping out his teammate. All the kills that he got were his own.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, talk about A1 Esports, they were right in when things started off in Sandhawk. And it was a kind of a topsy-turvy affair. Yeah. You know, if you talk about Venom Legends, well, Venom Legends, a team that really played well in Erangel, they kind of fizzled out this time around.
Yeah, and I completely agree with what Experiment said towards the end as well. Venom Legends being taken out early on with just 1 kill sort of gave T2K what they had to do. And that is why we saw them turn down the pace of the game and just take it really slow, wherein every single fight that they took was towards that final moments of the game. Let's have a look at the top players of this match as well and see the 4 individuals that are going to be joining our MVP in the lineup. And my oh my, Dante is going to join his teammate on the 2nd position in this list with 4 kills of his own. Survival time literally the same as 6-9. I mean, the teammates did line up to be taken down at the same time by the players of Team T2K. Damage on Dante is going to be 536. Moving things forward, we have Chari representing the squad of Team Abrupt Slayers. And then we have Venom from Team T2K and Sights Ghost finishing things off with his 2 kills.
Yes, definitely. And if we talk about Venom, they were a little spread out. If we talk about T2K, they were in a 2v2 split. Even Frankie was going towards his teammates. Venom was the solo player when he eliminated the players of Team 7Cs. I think that is when he got most of the kills.
Yeah, if I have to further add on, well, T2K, this time they kind of slowed down the pace. Yeah. They again went for the southern drop, and we did anticipate that when we came in. And all they had to do was play around that southern area. They went to a shift. They took that high ground on towards the cave area, and they had a good time getting inside the circle. And what an amazing play from the lads. Like you mentioned, that 2-2 split really helped them out.
Yes, definitely. One after another, they were just eliminating the team. First it was 7C Esports, then they went in for another team, and in the end it was A1 Esports.
Well, exactly, and the elimination sort of resulted in the teams having an interesting standings as far as this game is concerned. We have them in front of us. A1 Esports getting those 11 kills, and the 2nd position is going to result in the 23 points that they have from this match. And I think that is going to make up for the performance that they had in Erangel, but that depends on how they perform the rest of the day. Talking about T2K, consistent throughout the day, man. I mean, first game, they just went on wreaking havoc on everyone else. This game as well, getting the chicken in and making up for the points that lost in the terms of kills. So placement points coming in handy this time, 21 points in total. But moving things forward, a little bit of surprise over here as we did see Venom Legends take an early exit. At least they got 1 kill, 1 point secured in this match. But INES last game and this game, this team needs to step it up along with Stalwart Esports as well.
Yeah, you cannot rule out 2-4-7. I mean, in the first game, they were at a very good spot, and as the game went on, they kind of fizzled out. And this time around, also taking an early exit, they're somehow not being able to find that kind of momentum they completely need. And the same can be said for other Pakistani teams as well. You know, every single South Asian team, they look so well prepared, and right now, things are looking really sketchy.
Well, things are looking a bit sketchy for them, but I'm pretty sure the teams are going to try their level best to step up the performance as the tournament tournament moves forward. I mean, it is just day number 1, right? It is just day 1. Just match 2 has ended. We still have 3 more games lined up. But you got to do something special in order to perform. You have to do the due every single match that you play. And on that note, let us have a look at the do the due moments of this match.
Well, things starting off, Venom Legends, they were kind of surrounded. And, well, I really thought I could get to see the Tommy gun in action. And it's a perfect weapon that you can use in the TPP situations. But, it was that expertise of the players of BT and Giant Mara. They just completely surrounded them.
Yes, definitely. And if you talk about Stalwart Esports, kind of a mistake they made was to hold the water area of the quarry region where your movement is a little slow down. And Malik had a good angle. He had a height advantage, but somehow he couldn't capitalize on that. And this fight, T2K versus 7Cs, they disengaged later on, but they tried to get into the action. Shari, he was phenomenal, knocking down the players of Abrupt Slayers, but Abrupt Slayers got backstabbed by the players of ASL.
Yeah, absolutely. Abrupt Slayers off to a good start, but they, kind of have to keep the momentum going in. But this was one fight. Well, Team Elementrix were looking really well prepared. Well, R3D just kind of burned out alive. And a lot of teams, kind of dropped in, and they were on the eastern side. They had to kind of come down. But a lot of teams kind of thought this would be a quarry circle, but eventually the circle throwing a lot of curveballs. And this time around, the PUBG mobile gods are definitely favoring the players of T2K. This is where, everything kind of boiled down to. The two players being in a split, having the perfect angle, kind of surrounding them from two sides, and then just wrecking havoc.
Well, definitely, and that havoc was quite interesting as well. I mean, we are going to look at the damage histograph right now and see how things line up. How did the team fights go? Last time, T2K, they had an amazing stat for themselves, but this time, A1 Esports making sure that the things are going to be balanced everywhere. 11 kills coming in out of the 1940 damage that they dished out. Sites as well, I mean, they were called the champions of PMCO Pakistan, and finally living up to the reputation that they have built for themselves. 1400 damage, 8 kills. That's good balance that they have going in for themselves. But let's have a look at the teams that did really well in match number 1. Shadow, what do you have to say about the way fights were taken by Team T2K once again?
T2K played phenomenal. If you look at both the matches, be it Wrangle or the Senok, their zone, they are making friends with this zone. Their rotations are on point. They engage in a fight like they engaged in a fight with 7Cs. They realized they are in a bad spot, they completely disengaged, and later on took that fight. I think that was a very smart move.
I have another question for you guys. I want to hear your thoughts on 2 fights specifically. One between Abrupt Slayers and Serious Esports, and the second one is going to be Elementrix versus R3D. The common thing between those 2 fights is going to be the level of commitment we saw from the teams towards the aggression that they wanted to showcase towards their opponents.
Talk about both the fights, you have to be very, very careful. And in both the fights, we saw both these teams kind of sometimes on situation kind of overcommitting. That does help, but at the cost of what? You must know that if you're losing out on enough players and you do not get into the circle with all your players, or at least with 3 of them, then you're kind of in trouble.
Yes, definitely. And if we specifically talk about Team Elementrix, they knocked down one of the player of Team R3D. That was a very nice move, making the use of that smoke cover and rushing in, because that was the moment. But somehow they lost one of their player, and I think, but Joker, R3D Joker, he was in a good spot to knock down the players of Team Elementrix, but somehow he messed up in that situation, and Team Elementrix completely eliminated them.
Yeah, exactly. And Elementrix took a really good advantage of the situation for themselves, especially the players of R3D messing up when blah 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 was charging and threw the Molotov and overcommitting once again to the fight. But after match number 2, there is one interesting thing that starts to build up. It's going to be the overall standings, ladies and gentlemen. We have the leaderboard in front of us of the 16 teams that have been playing the matches so far. T2K, 48 points already. A1 Esports, they are on the second with 24, but T2K already doubling up on the second position.
Right now, T2K, they're off to a very good start. A1 Esports, Venom Legends, they have really caught up. But I think it's all about getting those kills. Whichever team is having the highest number of kills and is being consistent, they are kind of in that middle order. But, if you are kind of performing really bad, talk about the Pakistani teams in particular. Look at them. We just have sites, and that too on the 6th spot.
Yes, definitely. And if we talk about INES and 247 Gaming, they are sitting at the bottom with 2 and 1 point respectively. R3D Esports tried to do a comeback, but that mess up with Elementrix. That's why they are at the 12th spot with total 8 points. Pain Element, if we talk about this team, in the first match, players kind of eliminated they lost 2 of their players in the early fight, but last player, Luffy, somehow messed up his rotation. That's why they are having a trouble with the rotations.
Absolutely.
Well, exactly. And rotations is one thing you need to be careful about. I mean, we heard Experiment speak about this as well. While rotating, you have to be aware of your surroundings. And I think one line sort of fits perfectly for this game. Only the paranoid are the ones who survive. But let's have a look at the schedule for the day once again, ladies and gentlemen. See what is going to be coming up next. We are done with the Wrangle. We are done with Sanhok. Now it is going to be time to see the action that's going to take place in the deserts of Miramar. How are the teams going to make those long rotations now, since they are being punished in the short ones that were happening on Sanhok and on Wrangle? Miramar is going to be pretty tricky. You have to worry about your rotations. You have to take care of your vehicles, because if the circle is quite far away from you, then getting there is going to be a really big challenge.
Yeah, of course. You know, talk about Miramar, me and Ocean, while we were casting the scrims, we saw some really haywire circles going out there. And this time around, what is of absolute essence is that all the players need to make sure that they have that high ground advantage for themselves.
Yes, definitely. In Miramar, if you have a high ground advantage, you are going to win that fight. Winning that fight chances your increase. So always go for a height advantage if you can, especially in a Miramar. But having a compound cover, since we have land area, so much compounds are very limited. So you have to be friendly with the heights and the ridgy areas.
Exactly. I mean, you have to be aware of the ridges. You have to be aware of the high grounds as well. Need to look out for those compounds that are going to be there. But I want to know from you guys as well. There are these individual teams and these individual players that have been known to control these high grounds really well. I mean, especially if we are going to talk about the squad of Elementrix. What do you have to say about that?
Well, Team Elementrix, they've had quite a roster shuffle. They've got some new players coming in. But, you know, the team that I am looking out for this time around, Johnny, has to be Abrupt Slayers. Talk about that match where they were just, you know, jumping around and then getting all those kills and the chicken dinner. I think Abrupt Slayers is definitely my pick for Miramar.
Yes, definitely. That can happen. And we saw in PMPL scrims, if we talk about improvement, Abrupt Slayers have improved a lot. We saw that in the PMPL scrims. So let's see if they can do it in the Miramar.
Exactly. And there's one team that has been performing really well. Let's see if they perform. Remember about T2KSG. Let's have a look at how the players have been doing in the first 2 matches that they played. And, well, the stats look amazing for almost all of them. Venom, he has been putting in the work from behind the lines, from the shadows. He has been helping out his teammates. But Frankie, Zod, and G.I. Jane, as Experiment likes to call him, they have been impressive.
Yeah, of course. You know, during the PMPL scrims, one thing we did witness, it was just Frankie that was delivering. And I was completely all the time saying this one thing: teamwork is going to be of absolute essence. And that is what they have done right. And now they are absolutely looking strong.
Yes, definitely. I totally agree to it, because the synergy and coordination, it totally shows in the Miramar, in the Wrangle and Sanhok, both the matches. They have good synergy, especially when they took fight with 7 Cs. When they were in a 2v2 split, and when Frankie was going to his teammates and Venom just eliminated 7 Cs, that showed a good coordination between the team.
Well, I'm going to be super excited to see what is going to happen in the 3rd match of the day. And for that, let's once again go over to our amazing commentators, ladies and gentlemen, over to Ocean and Experiment.
Thank you once again, Johnny. And, well, Ocean, Game 3 is about to be underway. We are heading to the deserts of Miramar, my friend. It's going to be different. It's going to be slow. Is it going to be slothy?
Probably. You'll have to see, what happens. Plus, now we know one thing, that T2K has had an incredible lead. Can anyone just get to them?
48 points. They are twice better than anybody else right now. Second place, A1, has 24 points. So, I mean, if you do the maths, double the points. These guys are definitely making a statement that they are the ones to watch out for. But Miramar is going to be the deciding factor, because we'll be halfway through the day after this, and that's when the nerves are going to start shaking.
Exactly. Plus the areas of Miramar, all those areas, if you talk about it, Picaro, San Marin, Hacienda del Patron, those areas are pretty... Lost is the biggest city out there in any map of PUBG Mobile. Those things kind of, just play with your minds as well, because you're going for the rotations, you go for the those areas of Lost, and you start from northern side, have to go for the southern. So those things kind of, just play with your mind.
They do play with your mind, in fact, and well, that's what it's about. That's what separates the professionals, the best of the best, the creme de la creme from the rest, because it's under those situations how you basically what you make of those moments. But again, the players are ready. Everyone is pretty much going to be on the plane soon enough. I'm sure they are running around in the lobby right now, just trying to psych the players out. Would you do that? I mean, would you just say in your huddle, or would you go to the opponents and just go and keep punching them?
So I'll be the nice guy. I'll go to the opponents and say all the best, because someone has to do that. Someone has to do that for the bunch. Well,
maybe you'd want to psych them out. It's like, wait, why is he wishing me?
Come up when you be nice. I mean, that's one thing I would say, because when
like
the
that.
match starts, you have to be brutal, and the match 3.
There we go. You said the match started again. Perfect timing from you. Match 3 is underway. The plane is in the sky once again, and let's find out where we are heading to. Looks like we might be flying over the southeast. It is Puerto Paraiso. We're going to go all the way over Landriela. Now, the plane path is pretty much to the south. Is that going to be a problem for teams, say, who want to go to Campo Militar?
Exactly. Those are the things we have seen, like, Fixus was talking about. We saw some southern plane paths, and the zone was totally onto the northern side. That means if a team just goes down, gliding area kind of increases, and then you have to glide forward. Hacienda, see, reaching San Martin might be a challenge for some teams as well, if you want to go to that area as well.
Well, I guess one of the best things about Miramar is you have plenty, and I mean plenty, of vehicles around. You've got those Mirados, you have your pickup trucks, you have the big boys, you have buggies, you have bikes. I mean, it's not going to be difficult reaching your favorite drop spots, is it?
Oh, not so much. But well, if your favorite drop spot is El Pozo, you can reach there by dropping out at the end side. But if your favorite drop spot is maybe El Azhar, you might have to take some vehicle. Plus, if you get a buggy, buggies are a bit unstable in these those areas, those bridges of Miramar. And if you go down, you go down.
You do go down. In fact, we see a lot of people spinning out, getting shot in the head, and then blaming the buggy. Anyway, buggies and bikes, they are death traps. But now the question is, where is the circle going to form? Because look, let me just ask you a question. Suppose you want to go to Campo Militar, right? Now, while you are mid-air, probably the circle is going to form. My question is, do you change your... Okay, like right now, a few teams that are still in the sky, are they changing their drop spot, or are they going to still stick to what they started off with?
For now, they'll be sticking on to their home spots, because that's one thing. But Joker, no shot connected on him yet, but Jimmy was trying his level best, just to take him down. And obviously, I would say, had he been a bit closer, he might have just done that. Plus, no helmets when you land, right? No vest when you land, so you might be just going down in the situation. But no, this is a good one. Mutant coming up, but Shaw is moving forward.
The Mutant, can he lay down a few shots? Now, that iron sight is a bit difficult to control, especially with that little recoil. Now, you can use that weapon with its burst mode or with single shots. Now, single shots I would prefer, because, you can control it a bit better. But the thing is, the Mutant has a 2-bullet spray. I think that's more damage. If you can control that recoil a bit, I think it's more effective than an M16.
The sway comes up with the gun, right? That sway kind of plays with you. But Mr. Bro, look at him. Low on his health, but still trying to move. And Honel's like, I'm not going to let you go. I'll chase you if I have to go for it. But meanwhile, we see someone going down by a Winchester. That's Sunday. She takes down 1. And 247 Khan might be in a bit of trouble. But look at this. What's happening? Hanel actually predicted there's one player coming up for the rescue. He's like, nope, I don't want part of this straight head on. I'll go for the rage, get myself a cover, and then I'll go for the fights.
That's a smart play, because, if you just go down for one player, you got to remember one thing. You are playing against squads, right? You can never assume it's going to be just one player. Can he make it in cover? He does. Oh, my goodness. I thought that was going to be GGWP for that gentleman, but he does survive. And I like the fact that Sandesh has that Winchester out now. It is pretty much the Wild West over here, so why not use that cowboy repeater?
Exactly. Win 94 being used to its utter perfection, if I have to talk about it. Plus, the gun, recently, a 3-4 updates back only, it got a scope on itself. So that kind of, increases a lot of areas to play with, a lot of, things that you can do with the gun. And obviously, the damage out there for this one is also pretty good, pretty decent if we talk about it. So we'll see if we see some of those in the mid circles or not, because people obviously will be preferring, AWMs, M24s over a Win 94, right?
Now, this is the map where we're going to see some sniping action. So all of you bolt action fans out there, stay tuned, because we're going to have some Car 98s, we're going to have some M24s, and by God, I just hope this happens. We might just see an AWM, which I think it's a bit of a responsibility, isn't it?
Yeah, AWM is not a gun, it's a responsibility. Those who know, they know about it. But well, talking about all these things, look at the fights that are going to be happening because A1 Esports, they're outside the circle. They have T2K, the team that's actually at the highest point in the overall leaderboards. They have to get inside the circle. That's challenging, but you never know. The team just enters in.
I mean, they did that in game one when they were the only team in the military island. We'll come to that in a second as Shaw is now trying to reciprocate. He does get the knock on Jimmy. If you remember, Jimmy was trying to knock out Shaw earlier on, but the tables have been turned and now looks like Jimmy is going to bleed out in a painful death. I did see his teammate on the minimap for a split second, but looks like they've got the losses and they are going to be fighting as a 3-man squad.
As of now, exactly. That's one thing they'll have to do, but not really. So this team, in the scrims time, they had a bit of an ups and downs situation. We'll have to see how that comes up. But Salvat's Morte, now he is actually focusing his total attention on the players. Has 171 damage for himself. Let's see if he can increase that, because if you increase the damage stats, you might be increasing kill stats as well. Not just do the damage. Don't do the damage only. Go for the kills as well, because the one kill, 1 point.
Yes, sir. Can I point one thing out that I really like? Have a look at that. 64 players alive. It's not 63 like in the last few games. That means, remember, guys, it's all about punctuality. All right? If you are late, no one is going to stop for you. We've got to change that, but that is exactly what's happening. We are getting responsible. Malik with a grenade, and I think is Rohan going to make it out? He does. Does he have HP, or is that a glitch? What am I seeing here?
I'm telling you, he's barely breathing. That's one thing, and he's running for his life. That's one thing that's happening. 64 might just turn into 63 if they find out Rohan, but no. Rohan was good with that hide and seek, and he goes down, but Jimmy goes down, and now it is 63 as of now. Sure, the grenade opening, no, it was the first blood that just happened now. Then obviously our first blood, it's kind of an important thing because it maintains one thing that my team is doing this for the points.
I mean, that's what I was going to say. First blood has a special feeling to it. I think it's like a great confidence infusion, so to speak, because you're like, oh damn, I just got the first kill of the game. I think I can do it. And you know, if you survive to the last few circles with that, it can be really good. But Rohan elsewhere is going to get knocked out, I do believe. And it looks like Baba is going to try and finish off his wounded opponent. Now, teams are clashing. I wasn't expecting this, to be honest with you.
It just started and it started, I would say. So it's still a slow start, but it looks like a good start because all the teams there, understanding these ridges as of now. Because you know your game, you know your opponent's game. When what happens when, you take down one of their opponents, then they go a bit passive. You might have a chance to go a bit aggressive, but that aggression can also take you down.
It's all about balance, isn't it? I mean, you've got to know when you need to push and be aggressive. You've got to know when you've got to hold back. Even if you have, the best of the best moments, like you can get a kill or something, you can't expose yourself, your position or something. So trigger discipline is something that we have definitely started seeing.
All right, I have a question for you.
Go for it.
Suppose you're playing this lobby right now, and if you land somewhere outside the zone, right?
Okay.
So what's going to be your first priority? If you have a team out there, would you go for the fights or would you go for the zone preference or whatnot?
All right, now it depends on where I am. Now, the thing is, if I have enough loot as a team and if somebody even comes up, we can get the job done. Now, let me say I'm INES right now. Now, INES is all the way near Minas Generalis, right? Now, suppose if any team kind of comes close by. Now my question is going to be this. Are we kitted out? Can we take a fight? Because I would not mind staying out in the blue for the first circle or maybe even the second circle, as long as I have enough medkits, as long as I've got enough ammunition. And, talking about that, have a look at the bottom of our screens. Jean Mara are going to be going up against T2K. So, again, now the thing is, if I'm comfortable in my loot and in my players' skills and all that, I will take that fight because kills are important.
Kills are important, but see, that's one thing. Because in the maps of Miramar, zones are always kind of a thing because they will take you down because zones are, Miramar zones versus Sanok zones, there's a huge difference in the first zone's distance, right? If you're outside the circle. That's one thing. Plus, maybe if you lose one or two players, you win that fight, right? You get those 4 kills. But at the cost of losing 2 players, that also kind of plays with your mind as well.
Absolutely. I mean, you take a loss, it is a loss that is, it's going to be a heavy defeat, so to speak, because it is going to, whoa, wait a second, that buggy is being used to good use. Defying gravity almost, or maybe the torque is really high. I need to talk to that engineer because I'm really interested in off-roading, but wow, that buggy was really getting the job done.
Yeah, if it gets the job done, it gets the job done. That's one thing. So these are the guns that we'll be seeing much more, SKS, SLR, all those things, and maybe just a bit mid to long range sprays with those 4 times or maybe 6 times scope just coming up into the equation. If we talk about those guns, those are going to be something. So apart from bolt actions, if you talk about it, DMRs might be put to good use, and Shari on this area, you can see, has smoked onto his area, has to spot the players of ASE. The players onto the upper side are somewhat pressurized.
I mean, you know, they do have an advantage, but the disadvantage is that they can be spotted out from distance. And wait a second, wow, that was an amazing spray by Kurkure, knocking out Heaven, especially in that Heaven position that he is in right now. And once again, we are witnessing a fight between ASE and ASL. These guys cannot stay away from each other. It is Assidious Esports up against Abrupt Slares once again, and looks like Abrupt Slares are the ones who took the first beating, so to speak.
Yeah, they were the ones who took the first beating, but now Kurkure is rotating forward, but he has been spotted. Shari has given up the call. Another one going out there as Muffin moves alongside Kurkure. They're like, we want this fight, but no, Shari again was on a pickle right now. As you can see, he was about to be taken down. We'll have to see how it just goes up, but AUG coming up in an airdrop out there, as you can see, but Kurkure's grenade takes down Joker. Nova's lying out there, but it's like one thing that Muffin's moving up forward, but Nova, that might be a mistake, that might be a mistake. No, both of them go down as the backup arrived, but at the cost that they lost one more player.
Now that's exactly what you were talking about. Now there was a little bit of a miscommunication over there. They could have avoided that, and Joker is going to be ended his misery. And whoa, wait a second. Was that a grenade? Heaven's like, you know what? You should have finished me, because he is coming back. He gets that knock. He is still in this fight. I thought that they're going to be scattering away.
To the other side, look at this. Morte takes down one, but he also goes. So these are the things, the communications, how fast you can go with those things. Your good fights and bad fights, those are the things you have to see. But Baba's moving up forward. Will he go for the fight? Yes, he is. As out there, he spots one, but no. Yashiro was the one taking down Baba in the situation as the cover arrives. Orochi's out there as well. Yashiro will be popping up a first hit for himself. Then might be going for a revive. But Salwat, they are in quite a tricky situation as the circle's going to be coming as well, and they have to move inside the zone 600 plus meters.
Well, they do have a vehicle, so that is going to be something that is going to work out for them. And I like the fact that entry against all odds is not going to have an early exit from this game, so that is going to be something in their favor. Jane, meanwhile, is laying down the lead on the team from Jean Mara. They are under fire. Malik over here is going to be in Orochi's crossfire. Can he get a headshot? I want to see the MP4 in action. Wait a second. Malik goes down with a shot to the head. I love it. I love it. I called it. Let's go. Bolt action.
Well, bold action coming up really good in that situation. But wait, what happened out there? Oh my god, that was wrong entry, going for a wrong entry. But the backup was arriving out there, but entry. Now it comes out to one thing. Can you save your teammate? Out in the situation when the circle's going out there, Yashiro has reached domination, already has 3 kills, 4 for the team. But Salwat Esports becomes the first team to get eliminated, and Jane on the other side.
Why are they falling to their deaths? Well, again, this is Miramar. You know, wait, guys, let me give a little public service announcement over here.
Yeah.
All vehicles, like in real life, wait for it to come to a stop before you get out, because chances are you are going to get hurt pretty bad. It happens in real life. It also happens in this game. But now let's have a look at the circle. We are kind of coming in closer, and looks like Creative Fields is pretty much at the epicenter right now. We might have some urban warfare if the zone shifts either to the left or the right. Hacienda, San Martin, El Pozo. What are you a fan of, Ocean? On a map like Miramar, would you like those long distant engagements in the open, or do you want to see some urban warfare?
Well, Hacienda del Patron does means House of the Boss. So I would want to see the last person standing, because that guy will be the boss out there. So I would say, yeah, exactly. I would say somewhere around San Martin, because if you're out there in those city-ish areas, you get a lot of houses as well. If you want to, go for the rotations, you don't have to go through the roads only. You can go from one house to the other house. That gives you adequate cover. Plus, if one of your teammate is down, make sure he's down inside the house only. But well, look at this. T2K, they are moving inside, and the blue zone is kind of just taking them out.
That is exactly what you had mentioned earlier, that they are going to have a hard time out in the zone. But like I said, you can take the damage from the first 2 zones, especially in a map like Miramar. It's not going to be, it's more like a prick. It's more like a little mosquito sting or something.
Yeah.
But it does get a lot deadlier later on. Now, this is what I love. I love the fact that Miramar has this open ranges. We have these mountains. We have these peaks. And, well, as a sniping fan, this is right up my alley. But now, 24/7, they haven't had the best start to this tournament. And they are a pretty versatile team. They can get the job done in different situations. What do you think is going wrong, or what do you think isn't going right for them right now?
I don't know. For 247, I would say somewhat the calls are just ups and downs, because players see. Every player is pretty skilled if you're talking about it, and they are kind of at the center of the zone as of right now. If they lose a fight out here, it might be because the calls, because gunpowder is at point for this team. They will be looking on to all the directions. It's just one thing I want to see, how they facilitate with those calls with each other, because on the one side it's Elementrix, R3D is coming on to the other side as well. A1 Esports right at the front of them, ASE as well. Because all the teams are surrounding you, so you'll have to see, even if you're at a ridge, you're not safe.
See, the thing is, you can kind of have a look at how the teams are a little spread out. Now, a few of the teams are going to be going for that high ground, which, of course, as we have a look at Future Station, they are doing just that. But Abood definitely has spotted them. That information is going to be relayed to his team. And again, you know, you did scrape on this point earlier. Communication, man.
Yeah.
I think it's key. Your talks, your comms, you have to be clear, crystal clear, you know, letting your opponent's positions be known to your teams, letting them know what you want. I think that is something that is changing now because people are talking a bit more. People are more patient. Like we said earlier, the trigger discipline is finally in this game.
Communication is much more deadly as compared to the gunpowder, I would say, because if you find someone, you'll have to say, see, I saw someone onto the northwest direction, and all your teammates will be focusing on that direction. Maybe you are not able to take him, but maybe someone from a team is.
Imagine those guys who get the distance right as well. And that was something of a little bit of a homely picture right now. We had one of the players, the family members were in as well. So again, PUBG Mobile is a family-friendly affair. You can have your little kids in the room as well. Nothing is wrong with that. I like the fact that, you know, the families are sticking together. Of course, the times are difficult, but it's still, they have time to play PUBG Mobile. I love that. But now, talking about Elementrix, these guys, the analyst desk did kind of brush up on this earlier, that they had that little tussle with R3D Gaming. That kind of went wrong for R3D. Do you think we're going to see something like that again? Because, you know, you did mention, when you take down a person, you look at the kill feed.
Yeah.
Does the name matter?
Name kind of matters, I would say, in one or two ways. It's like, you know, you kind of understand, see, if R3D, suppose, an example, if R3D did not have first and second good games, then if a team, you know, challenges them and they're like, all right, this is R3D, they are kind of low right now, we can take them. Like, it kind of comes up like that. Or if a team just takes you down, suppose this happened in one of the tournaments, I don't know, a team was attacking another team that was actually at the top. So the team attacked them, they're like, let's not rush right now, let's just take, because this team is kind of in the form.
I get you. Yeah, the form definitely matters because for me, when you are at the top, I think you have an extra target painted on your back. But again, you've got to have, you know, cojones to actually go for the big bad dog out there. But let's come back to the game right now. Future Station's Tamim is going to lay down some lead and, well, the opponent is not rendering. But at this distance, you can still damage the vehicle.
Yeah.
So, you know, if you pop out a few tires, especially in a buggy, and that thing goes in an uncontrollable spin, well, that gentleman is going to have to run towards you. So I guess this is my argument. Is it a wastage of ammunition, or do you think it's the right thing to do?
No ammunition, you know, just given out is a wastage. None. Because every time it's an information. It's always about the information that just goes out there. But on to one side, we saw, you know, some green smokes just going out there. ASL's Heaven is just in this house, and he is the last man surviving from Abrupt Slayers. If he goes down, then it is, I would say, that, you know, Venom Legends is again in their, is filled with Venom once again, because they will be looking for it. But Heaven X, what's he going to do? Has 30 bullets. And look at this. He's just right around on the other area. Evil Eye is moving forward slowly.
He's not making a single sound.
Exactly. He's just
get quiet, whisper right now. But that is exactly what's happening. I mean, if he makes a single sound, his position goes, and you can, even if a single footstep, even if he coughs, he is done for. But meanwhile, blah, blah, blah is laying down the lead. PN are going to go down. Looks like two members, Ayush and Poison, have been put out of their misery, and he is still not done yet. He is going for the other two members as well.
Well, he is going for them, but now he's going to go for the loot, and maybe, you know, just, if it's a good day, he'll take the buggy and run away, because he got the loot, he got buggy as well, a vehicle. We'll have to see how it just, you know, just chimes up. But on the other side, Pain Element's Dark goes down. Abood was also another one going down, but now he's, you know, just moving forward. But R3D's players, they are moving forward again. 7C, let's see if this is going to be their game, but Pain Element gets eliminated on 15. Fear is out there. Oh my god, that was very good by Shaw.
It was. Now, it was a little late reaction, but his precision was amazing. That accuracy was amazing. He goes down. Anubis is going to go in for the kill. Mr. Smokey version 2 gets taken out. And with that, I do believe R3D are going to be on a little bit of a rampage. 5 kills for their team right now. Now, I think it might be one of the highest fragging teams in this map right now. The thing is, well, wait a second. Venom Shuvo is going to be picking a fight with Sights, and I kind of feel they are clumped a bit too much.
Well, they're clumped with one more player, that's ASL Heaven, who's still surviving in that house.
I forgot about him.
Yeah, no one saw him. As of now, no one spotted him because he's not making a single sound. He's just sitting out there waiting for someone, you know, just roaming in without that much pressure. And there are those AKM shots, and they just take him down. But, well, Mr. Hyozu on the top of the mountain, but we'll have to see when the circle moves on to the other direction. He might have to come down. He might have to move inside to the center of the zone where ASE is, because ASE is in a very good spot. Even if the circle goes down, up, right, center, anywhere, the central location is always in the circle. That's what the zone meta has been.
It definitely has been. And have a look at where ASE are right now. You see that road to the north? Yeah. They have that little flat ground. They have the mountains to their north. So they're not in a valley of death situation. Meanwhile, someone who is in a valley of death situation is INES. They need to get out of this quick, because if an opponent comes on the high ground from the other end in the form of A1, they could be in a world of trouble. And look at that. See, that's the thing about height. You can get these unimaginable angles that you're like, you know what, my back is secure, but suddenly a bullet comes flying through the air, hits you, and you're like, uh-oh, yeah. I did an oopsie.
Yeah, I did an oopsie, but look at this. Exactly what we were talking about. ASE will be the only team inside the next zone. As you can see, the fifth circle's just forming out there. Now, there's one thing. We are about to hit the 20-minute marker in just, less than 40 seconds or something. But we still have 13 teams surviving. In the other maps, the fight was so fast. We're down to 10 teams or something. 3 extra teams out here. That just gives you a lot of area to rotate, but not a lot of area to play with. Look at Anubis. He's on the backside of 247. If he spots them, 2 players are just out there.
They are just out there. But the thing is, Anubis' teammates, if he fires the shot right now without getting a kill, they are going to be exposed. Because look at that. We have a revive coming in. Joker does get picked up, and I think he was just waiting for that. He might go in now. Vegeta could be in a world of trouble. He is going to be in a position to get backstabbed. Meanwhile, Vegeta is laying down some lead in Walker's direction. This is when they need to come in, but it's Joker who's going to come up from that little rise. His teammate gets taken down. Entry is going to be out. R3D Joker does finally get taken down, and now again, this is pandemonium because they are in the middle and they are fending off against 2 teams. Oh my goodness.
But now it's Gaming and Khan. Those 2 players are surviving. Look at this, on to the other side, but we'll see if they take that revenge from R3D, as a team has 6 kills, but it's like Shaw is low on HP. No, another one goes down as Khan this time takes everything in his hands. Plays one, takes down Joker, and look at this, INES is looking out decent on a rampage. Players are looking really good, but look at the situations that are happening. 247, they get a good fight. They were looking really confident, and R3D, the team that was strong, gets eliminated.
Now, they don't get any position points because they go out in the 13th place, but they have 7 kills, 7 points. That is not a bad outing. Meanwhile, we have the circle shrinking in closer and closer, and now we are going to have a serious esports as they are going to go up against A1 esports. Muffin does lob a grenade, but it's not like what we saw earlier. That is not going to do any damage. Sinister barely gets out of harm's way as he is going to patch himself up, but they've got to be quick because have a look at who's creeping in behind them. If 24/7 Gaming get that ridge, it could be detrimental for both teams.
Exactly, 24/7, they are looking really good. Yashri, on the other hand, gets a grenade attack for himself as he takes down players from T2K.
What?
T2K is in a bit of trouble.
They're gone.
That's something.
They are gone.
They are gone right now. Maybe FS might just go for the second chicken if they go for it. We'll have to see how the situations just come up. But as of now, ASE versus A1 Esports, and just like you said, 247 is also chiming in.
They are going to chime in, and I think they might just, wait for these 2 teams to pick each other apart. And oh my goodness, that is going to be a bit of a misfire because Honeywell has knocked himself out with a grenade, and he has paid the price as Sinister, in his sinister ways, comes in and seals the deal. But now their work is not cut out. Explosions going up. Crazy goes down to that explosion, and A1, they are pushing up. Now these guys are getting the aggression up and basically in our faces.
Exactly. Dante is out here, but what's happening is the circle's forming out here as well. Kurgray moves forward, takes down Dante. That was a very, very good rush, and just, very good usage of timing for himself as well. Sinister 1 HP. Will he survive longer? That's a question, but no is the answer as he goes on. Kurgray does not have a helmet. Still is going for the fight. How longer can he survive in this situation? Shoykot is out there as well. This fight is a 2 versus 2 situation right now, but no, Shoykot goes down. A1 Esports 6-9 is popping up those grenades. Muffin might just go down. We'll have to see how the situation just pan up as 6-9 is the last man surviving.
You don't need a helmet when you want to go Super Saiyan with that hairdo, and let's see if that's exactly what's going to happen. Muffin does know where 6-9 is, and 6-9 is going to move in. Is he going to get that knock? Dante has been finished. He is put out of his misery. Now we have the Chinese samurai hat on. He is going to go in. Opponents on both sides. Kurgray fires. Kurgray misses. Kurgray goes down. 6-9 now up against last surviving member, but he couldn't do it. Muffin is going to be the one who walks away with the win.
And INES is also made into the circle. You can see the team number 6, that's INES. They're right next to ASE. That's surviving. Look at this. Elementrix. They have their players. They have all the 4 players. The only team that has all the players, but no, spoke too soon as Badrev takes down 2 players of Eliminatrix. Now they're down to 2 players. They have good kill numbers, Mr. Yozu and blah, blah, blah. Let's see what happens. But is this a wrong decision? Is this a right decision? We'll never know. But no, blah, blah, blah. That was the wrong decision. Opening up in this area. He's low on HP. He's popping up those smokes for himself. But how long can he survive? Mr. Yozu goes down in the situation as right now. Bad Drive is looking really good.
Orochi still with an M24 is trying to get a few more headshots. Let's call it. Is Evil Eye going to get taken out? He gets taken out again. And once again, that is a headshot. Let me tell you one thing. Orochi is the man you want to give the sniper rifle to.
He is the man who's going to bring results as well from that sniper rifle.
He's my kind of guy.
Yeah, that's totally true. I mean, that's true. But Shuvo is still surviving. We'll see. Will we see another one just popping those heads up or not? As we are down to 6 teams, 10 people alive. 247 gets eliminated on the 7th position. Future Station, INES, Asirius, Eliminatrix, Legends, PN Crew. But no. The players are still in a bit of trouble as they are inside the circle. But still, the covers are just not there.
Now, they are going to be either side of this little road, so that is going to be a bit of an issue. The cover isn't really that great over here, but they have that little bit of a ridge. They can go prone. But grenades are going to be what is going to be devastating, and Blah's grenade gets steel shot. He has been taken out. Yashiro gets taken out as well. Is that a squad wipe? That isn't. We still have 2 members alive. Yashiro is still alive and kicking. Orochi with that M24 is still alive and kicking. The question is he going to swap out that bolt action for something more rapid firing? Or not.
As of now, when the area is closing up, you can just go for it. I mean, you're very good with bolt actions. You might as well, go for the sprays as well if you're just going for it. But well, 4 teams surviving. 8 players out there. INES, we'll have to see what happens. As for all the teams, you can see it's 2 versus 2 versus 3 versus 1. Shu was still surviving with 1 kill in his hands. But for how long? As of now, Orochi still sticking up with that M24.
INES now are going to have to move a bit north because the circle has shifted up front. And in my opinion, the best course of action, if they go from the right, they are going to have to tackle Team 5. That is, of course, Asirius Esports. Now, Asirius Esports, they are also going to be tangoing with Future Station. So the question is, are they going to slip in from behind, get the job done? Steel Shot gets taken down by Kurkure's spray with that Scar-L. Yashiro is going to reciprocate as he takes down Tamim. Now, FS are in trouble. Now, again, look, they just had that 1 car for cover Roshan. It is not enough at this stage.
Orochi goes down in the situation, down to 7 people as we are. But Venom Shuo is still bringing out results for himself and for the team. Muffins out here. For how long can he survive? Bad Rivs as well as Tamim. He is about to bite the dust as we speak. No, Bad Riv goes down in the situation, and this is going to be the end of Future Station. S02 Esports, INES, and Venom Legends. A 1 versus 2 situation. But Yashiro, the guy, has 9 individual kills for himself.
Wow.
How much more can he just take it?
I mean, if we had a betting license, I would have been shouting, place your bets, who is going to come out on top? Because it can go either way. INES with 2 members alive, Asirius with 2, Orochi gets taken down with that ratatatata from Muffin. That AK is rattling off, but his teammate is trying to get the job done. Muffin is under a lot of pressure right now as Yashiro is trying to move in for the kill, but he is low on HP. Good decision over there to blow up that vehicle because an accident explosion could have been devastating. Yashiro goes in. Oh, that was good reaction by Muffin. He gets the kill.
But right now, Shuo is the last man surviving a 1 versus 2 situation. Kurkure and Muffin. Can these 2 things get that chicken dinner just for the eatables? Well, Shuo's out there. Venom Legends, will it be their game as they are also contesting for it? Numbers game say it's going to be ASE, but Venom Legends Shuo is still surviving for his own team. 15 points versus 12 points. That's where it all comes down.
Well, they're making me hungry with their names. The question is, are they hungry for this win? Now, Venom Legends Shuvo can be devastating, but he has nothing to heal himself up with, and the grenade is going to take off a little bit more HP. They have an idea where he is. I think this is when he starts, talking to his makeup, because it is going to be devastating. Wait! Kurkure comes in from the left. He almost gets taken out. That could have been an equalizing effect.
They are actually spraying on that tree. They still don't know the area. They still don't have the area. Look at that. They are actually mauling those tree areas. Shivo still surviving. Can he take down 1? Can he take down 1? No. Kurkure is still surviving as well. Muffin has his cover for himself. But right now, if the guard goes down, that's a proper cover for Kurkure in this situation. How many bullets does he have? Is he going for the grenade? Yes, he is. That grenade, if it connects, it will be a 1v1 situation. But in those areas, you can still see Muffin is good with HP. And Kurkure still one survives. That guy still lives in the situation. Venom Juvo, he has to pull out a miracle if he can go for it. Kurkure, will he survive this time? And yes, he does again as he's moving backwards. Again, a 2 versus 1 situation. The zone is favoring ASC. They're just sitting out there. They're like, we want that chicken neck because Venom Juvo, he has to get on the road if he has to get inside the circle. 8th zone, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and 28 minutes on the clock as this game might be ASE's. And yes, it is.
That's it. Assidious Esports are going to be walking away with the chicken dinner in Game 3 in Miramar. But again, what an amazing performance by them. They were right in the thick and thin of it right from the get-go. Initially, they took on Abrupt Slayers. Then they took on a host of other teams making their way to the winner chicken dinner. But what a game. Different Miramar from what I was expecting. I thought it was going to be slow. Man, I'm not disappointed.
But I would say INES might be your favorite team. You saw some M24s coming out from their area, plus a single guy having 9 kills.
Plus, let's not forget the M24 with the headshots. I mean, Orochi is on fire, and that is what I love. I love me some bold action, but Miramar was exactly what we expected, isn't it?
Exactly, and the circle shifts with the teams. They have to come in. I mean, Yashiro was out there for the fight, but he had to go to the left, right. Those quick reflexes from ASE is something that got them win.
You know, this marks the midway of day 1, and we're going to take a little breather because I think we need some hot water. We're going to go, come back. Stay tuned. We'll be back right after this.
Mountain Dew? Squads. There's loot on the horizon for however you find victory. For the combat chauffeurs. For those who strike from above or from below. For the experts in pan-to-pan combat. Whether you're taking a leap of faith or just aren't afraid of a close call. Fuel your path to winner chicken dinner with ice-cold Mountain Dew and with exclusive loot from Mountain Dew fuel stations. Spawning on a map near you.
Welcome back once again, ladies and gentlemen, to the PUBG Mobile Pro League South Asia Season 2. My name is Super Johnny. The third game on Miramar. Well, it was pretty intense and it was interesting as well. And to help me break down the action, it's going to be my analyst joining me once again, Fixes and Shadow. So we saw the pace of the game drop down quite a bit in the early stages, but toward the late game stages, the aggression, it was non-stop.
Yeah, of course. You know, you're starting off with Miramar. I kind of anticipated Team Elementrix to have a really good game, considering they drop off at Power Grid, and that was where the initial circle was going to. And they had a very good high ground advantage for themselves. But after that, they somehow did have a lot of trouble coming down, but Assidious Esports were just right there.
Yeah, Assidious Esports had an amazing performance, but so did our MVP for this match, ladies and gentlemen. INAS Yashiro. 9 kills confirmed by this one individual player, 996 damage, survival time of 24 minutes and 43 seconds, and 2 assists as well. And INAS, I have to say, INAS and Assidious Esports, both of them stepping up in this match is going to be so important for these squads, because that is going to mean that they can actually keep up with the rest of the competition. Had this game been a bad one, they would have been so far behind. I mean, imagine that. They won 3 bad games. You do not want that. This match was really crucial, and they made it count as well. Now we have the pentagraph in front of us, where we do see that Yashiro, in terms of kill, he was the top fragger in the entire server, but the damage and the survival time did go to the other players, and so did the assists.
Yes, definitely. He has got the highest kills, that is 9 kills. And he has taken a lot of damage also. If you look at his damage, he has taken a 449 damage. That's way too high. But if we talk about overall performance of INES, I think Experiment has found a new friend. He is going to like the way Oshiro did that sniping shots with M24. That was pretty amazing.
Yeah, the M24 shots. I mean, no one is going to forget that. But it is going to be interesting to see who are going to be the rest of the top players. So the top 5 players from this match are on our screens, and even the Yashiro and his team of INES had an amazing performance. Elementrix, they're going to find out. Blah, blah, blah is going to be in the top players list. On the second position with 5 kills, 22 minutes and 27 seconds of survival time. And look at that damage. Oh my goodness. 1237.
Absolutely. Being the last surviving player of Team Elementrix, he did a lot of job out there. But personally, I really liked how Muffin and Kurkure played in this match out.
Yeah.
Because when the circle did come down to them, and when they had their backs against the players of A1 Esports, these were the two players that really stepped up. Despite Hanul really fragging himself out of the game, and that must have really hurt them. But it's alright. As long as they got the chicken dinner, that's certainly something that they can live with. And well, Venom Legends having quite a good run. 2 good games.
Yeah.
I think they're being very consistent.
Yes, they are definitely being consistent. They lost out on one of the match. They had an early exit, but yes, Elementrix did perform. They got eliminated because of that vehicle explosion, because of the loss of Future
It
Station.
was a tough time coming down.
Yeah, they had trouble coming down to the zone.
Well, they had trouble coming down towards the zone, but one place where they are going to be climbing up, it's going to be the standings. But for now, we are going to have the standings for this match on our screens, and well, Elementrix on the 3rd position. Even though the position points were there, they were able to secure those kill points for themselves, resulting in the 3rd place finish. But Osiris Esports with the chicken dinner and the 11 kills, they are going to be a couple of happy lads after this one. INES as well, 10 placement points, 11 kill points, 21 in total. So good performance. And as Fix, as you were saying,
Yeah.
Venom Legends making a comeback after the bad performance on Sanhok, making a comeback in this 3rd match of Miramar was really, really crucial for them. Also considering the fact that T2K, the leaders of the leaderboard, had an early exit.
Yeah, of course. You can. Every day is not a Sunday. Every day, every single match, you cannot expect to win. There are those good matches, and then there are those bad matches. But what you have to really focus on being consistent, and that is what they really need to catch up with. And we've seen T2K. They have gone off to an explosive start, like you said. But consistency is the key. And if they do not maintain that, somewhere down the line, the same thing can happen with what happened with DRS during the scrims.
I completely agree with that. But in order to keep a consistent performance, you have to fuel the fire that is inside the players, and you have to fuel that explosion constantly with the Mountain Dew, and you are going to be able to do the Dew time and time again, ladies and gentlemen. So now let's have a look at Do the Dew moments for this Miramar match.
Yes, definitely. S02 Esports, the way they performed, even the plus of Team A Abrupt Players had the height advantage, but they couldn't really capitalize on that. And Abrupt Players just got eliminated in that situation. I think S02 performed really well. Even the Kurkure got knocked out, but later on he got that revival. And if we talk about Salvot Esports, it did manage to pin down the plus of Team INES, but they kind of that aim to push out. I think XP loved that.
That was a whammy out there. And the Stalwarts players, they did not see that coming from anywhere around. But this is where Team Elementrix were really thriving, right? They had that high ground for themselves, and I'm completely parched up in this, deserty map of Miramar. I'll just get myself into you out there. But, talk about 247 Gaming. Well, they were looking promising. They got a few score right. But this is where A1 Esports really competing for this spot. I love that. I love the conviction out there from the players, but that is where you should not overstep. And this is the breaker of a fight. They still were having better numbers, but coming out right in the open, that was costly for them.
Yes, definitely. They kind of overcommitted after eliminating 2 of the players from Team Abrupt Players, but the way this duo performed, Kurkure and Muffin, amazing, eliminating A1 Esports, coming into their compound, and Venom Legends, they also had a kind of a rough time. And if we talk about Future Station, the 2 teams, INS and S02 Esports, were just rushing in towards them, not rushing them, but shooting towards them when they were pinned down besides an area.
Well, I was completely parched out. And, well, while we were having a glimpse at all those Dew moments, I was actually doing the Dew.
Yeah, I hate you. You have 2 Mountain Dews on top of that contraption right there. And
I'm not going to share that, I'm telling you.
This man is not willing to share, having all the Dew by himself.
I'm a short guy, but with a big belly, so that's completely understandable. I need to satiate my hunger and my thirst.
Well, I hope you are not thirsty after all the Mountain Dew have had right now.
I'll still get myself refilled.
Oh, yes. Well, we have a couple of more things to look at, ladies and gentlemen. Let's have a look at the damage histograph as well and see how the fights went out. And oh my goodness. So today has been sort of an interesting day so far. Every single time a team has had the top damage, they have balanced it out perfectly with the number of kills that they've had.
Yeah,
Yes,
of course.
definitely.
Yeah. and 2600 damage for a Serious Esports, and making sure that they were getting those kills as well. They were the highest fragging team in the server. 11 kills coming for them, but I like INES. They had 11 kills too, matching the number from a Serious Esports, but only with 1535 damage. So an amazing performance. Elementrix, they made sure the high ground advantage that they had mattered in those team fights, and they made sure they got those 9 kills, and the third place finish is going to be really, really crucial in this match. Elementrix, they were already in the top 8 as far as the leaderboard is concerned, and I think they are going to climb up. But quite unfortunate for A1 Esports on the other side. I mean, they had just 3 kills, but 900 damage for them. So had they sort of positioned themselves in a better way and been aware of their surrounding, they could have secured those kills. But one team that did not even get a chance to fight was Pain Element.
Yeah, I mean, they were having a lot of trouble out there with the way they are playing, and they really need to pull up their socks, because these are still the early days. But if they continue doing that, they might just go down.
Yes, definitely it is going to add an extra pressure also. You have been losing out on the 3 matches. You are left with just 2 matches. If you mess up in that also, you mess up in the first day. Day 2 is going to add extra pressure on you.
Exactly. Day 2 is going to have a lot of pressure, but the pressure was already building up when the days were coming for the PMPL to get started. And, well, we have something interesting for you guys, so get ready to see an interview with the players of Team Elementrix, and here it is.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to PUBG Mobile Pro League interview session. And so far, interviews have been amazing, teams have been amazing, gameplays have been amazing. And let's actually, head on to one of the best teams, I would say, in the circuit that we're going to talk to. It's going to be none other than Elementrix, and the name is enough. They have been back-to-back in PMCOs, PMPLs, but well, without any further ado, guys, why don't you just start with the introduction of your own selves?
Hi, this is Mr. Hyozu, and I'm the in-game leader of the team, and I play as a support.
Hello, this is Mr. Nangjang Limbu, and my in-game name is X9, and my role is Assaulter.
Hi, I'm Manjul Suresh. My in-game name is Orange, and I'm the Assaulter of the team.
Hi, my name is Sonim Limbu. My in-game name is Yak Sonim. I'm Assaulter in my team.
Well. So many assaulters and so dominating team. Well, I'll start the questions with you, Mr. Hyozu. Just like, you said you're the IGL of the team. Plus, there have been many instances we've seen you in PMCO, back-to-back, PMPL as well. Like, you have been there just to showcase your experience. So how has your experience been, and how, how have you grown in your own self?
Well, the experience has been pretty amazing. Last time we played with mostly Indian teams, but unfortunately, it couldn't happen right now because of the situation. But now PMPL is a different, taste. It has a different taste, and I admire each and every team who are in PMPL, and I hope to do much better with our squad.
Hopefully, hoping for the best. And Nang, coming to you, well, last time as I knew Nang personally, that guy was from Janmara. So how has your transition been from Janmara to Elementrix? Like, what has changed in your gameplay?
As you know, Janmara, they are underdogs from Nepal last time. So, when I came to Elementrix, they are very good team, as we know, in Nepal. So, very experienced team. So, so I learned new thing, more new thing in Elementrix. Yeah, Mr. Hyozu, he's in-game leader, and he helps me a lot in game. My old teammate Sonim Limbu, he is also from Janmara, and he helps me a lot. And my new teammate Orange, he's also a good assaulter in Elementrix, so he helps me a lot too.
Well, that's really nice. Well, now I want to come back to the IGL. Mr. Hyozu, your experience, your team's experience, that's a very good thing. But one of the most important questions that I'll be having in my mind is, in PMCO's finals, the kills were not as much on the point as it should have been. So what are you focusing on in PMPL to increase the number of kills? Because now with the new point system, kills are kind of a priority.
Yes, definitely. And I've seen the point system, there's more prioritized kill system than the placement system, right? So yeah, of course, definitely we didn't do quite well in PMC final last time, but now the team this is a new team, before we had, now we have a couple of changes in our team, and now I think we are more focused on assaulting than having a placement point, because last time we were like much passive, but now it's like more direct play, more kill focused play, more compound to compound push play. So that kind of thing we are learning when we form this new team.
That's nice. That's nice. Orange, I want to come to you for some questions. And the question is that, just like your players have synergized their own selves with the team, how do you practice when it comes to, rotations and whatnot? Because, see, sometimes IGL gives a call. You might not be able to follow that call because you are under pressure, you're doing something else or things like that. So how do you practice for your own self and how do you synergize that practice with the team practice?
Since me and Heju are together from the beginning, we have built up lots of synergy, and we play scrims from around 6 to 7 hours a day. So I know his calls and rotations most.
That's nice. That's nice. That's nice. I would say that's really good. And now, Sonim, I want to actually focus my attention towards you. I want to ask you, which is that one player in the entire world? If you want to name one player, it can be from your region, it can be from, North American region, it can be from BTR, RRQ, any side. If you want to name one player that actually you idolize, that is your favorite, who is that player? And why do you feel like he's like a world-class player?
My personal favorite player is from Brigatron. His name is BTR Ryzen. He's a closer from the team, that's why I love him.
Alright, so that was very well put, Sonim. Now my next question again is for the IGL, and my question is going to be, so Mr. Huzu, how you and your team is focusing to put up an impact, a pressure on your rival teams in this season?
Oh, definitely by playing more aggressive. Last time we made a mistake by not playing too aggressive. We were kind of a passive. Like we were mostly a rotation heavy team. But now it's more like we want to take more direct fights because the kill points are so crucial in this tournament. So yeah, we'll definitely focus on direct fights and play more aggressive and put the pressure on the team.
That's very well put. Now all four of you, I wanna know one team, one name from this PMPL that you feel is a team that will be giving you a tough competition. One name from all four of you.
Dead Eyes, guys.
Nice one.
Dead Eyes, guys.
Yeah, the Dead Eyes guys.
Well, I can see all of you are saying Dead Eyes guys, so maybe I would want to focus on one thing that, let's have a very good competition out there with Dead Eyes guys, with all the teams, and maybe, just maybe, your team will be out there for global championship as well. And if that happens, I would say it's going to be a very, very good thing. So I'll just say all the best for all the future endeavors, and maybe I'll see you winning this PMPL.
Well, quite an interesting interview over there with the players of Elementrix, and we heard them talk about what it was like moving from Nang and Sony, what it was like moving from the old lineup to the new lineup, how they built up synergy, and how Orange and Mr. Yozu have been doing. They have stuck around together for a really long time and have consistently put up amazing performances for their team. But today is just getting started. I mean, teams and players are still getting the feel of their opponents and still trying to figure out how to take them down. But there is one more thing we need to have a look at. It's going to be the schedule for the day, ladies and gentlemen, and let's go. Here it is on our screens right now. So, Weekend is going to be match number 4. And it is going to be really, really, really interesting to see how the teams from Group B are going to play. Because this is going to be the last game for today for teams from Group A, from Group B. And it is going to be quite interesting to see what they are going to do. It is going to be PN Crew, ASL, 7C, and R3D. The teams have been having a slow start for their day, and they have to make sure that they perform in this last match.
Yeah, of course. Now my man XP will be really happy because you're gonna get to see that bolt action coming in. So many short compounds. Yep. And if you have a bolt action, someone is peeping from the window, they are gonna get their heads popped out. And well, we can predict for a slow kind of start in Vikendi, but the last final circles are gonna be completely extreme.
I mean, definitely, the start on Weekendy is usually quite slow, but then the pace gets picked up as the game moves forward. The strategy for the players is also going to be quite interesting, and for the 4 teams that I mentioned, they need to make sure that they perform their best. They need to go all out in this very last game for them for this day, but after this, we still have one more match lined up for you guys, so, well, excitement for us is not going to stop, right? But for this one, I have to do one thing, and it is going to be handed over to my amazing commentators for the action to begin. Over to Ocean and the experiment.
Thank you very much, Three Musketeers. They spoke about it. What are your views onto this frozen tundra lands as we just move on?
I mean, it is going to be amazing. All that white snow is going to be red real soon with all the blood dripping down there. It's going to be a little bit steamy. It's going to be like from a cinema movie, but it is going to be action-packed. And now this is where the term sloth zones was pretty much coined. Now, if you don't know what sloth zones are, my man Ocean is going to take you through it.
Well, exactly. All right. So these are those circles, right? When the fight's not happening, the players are in the comfort zone, just sitting out there, discussing strategies. And probably about the Group B, this is the last game for the day. They'll be, very much onto that area. They'll be using the maximum time to be utilized in that slot circles.
Now, you did mention Group B, this is their last game. But Group E is going to come in the next game. I want to ask you a question. Have they been watching their opponents? Are they making notes and, making their little pointers as to how they want to tackle the situation?
Obviously, it's going to be the answer as we speak, right? Because they are going to be out there thinking about every strategy that they can make to overcome, to counter-attack all their opponents that are going to be from the other groups. We'll have to see how that just pans out. But for now, as you can see, the players are once again ready for everything.
They are ready indeed, and I like the fact that we are ready for the frozen tundra. We've got our jackets on. Heat is definitely not going to be an issue. All the players look ready. The plane is going to be in the sky in just a few moments. It is going to be Vikendi. I love that. I love the fact that we can, cycle through all the maps, and it's like you can't be just good at one map.
Yeah.
It's like, master, jack of all trades, master of none. You can't have that in PUBG Mobile. You've got to be versatile in every single which map. And by the look on the faces right now, the boys and girls are ready. The question is, you watching at home, are you ready for match 4, which is now underway? Fair Ocean, take us away. I almost called you Fix us over there.
Well, that's one thing, but well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we are going to be out there onto this match of Vikendi. You said it, those areas are going to be red soon, and we'll have to see what happens as the flight path is from the northern side of Dobromesto, back ends of Krichas, and we move on to Peshkova as we speak. Cosmodrome is going to be an important area. Castle. I know, my man Johnny, he wants that castle circle very badly, but it's not just coming through.
I mean, I love the castle as well. I'm a big fan of medieval history, and, the castle is just, special. But yes, the Cosmodrome, the cement factory even, are going to be highly contested places because, again, the loot in those areas is just phenomenal. But as the teams are now dropping off, everyone is going to be, it's not going to be difficult reaching your favorite spots now. The plane path is a bit towards the north, but again, you have plenty of vehicles in Vikendi. And I've got a question for you, Mr. Roshan. Are we going to have a slow start? Are we going to see some slot zones? Or contrary to popular belief, all the matches today have been quick-paced and, the action has been there from the beginning.
Well, look at the circle. Wow. If you see this one, I would say this might be a good one. Plus, the central part, Goroka is totally empty. No one's like, we don't want to go there. We want to go to our places, and those are going to be outside the circle. We see Venom Legends at the area of Port and Zabawa. We see Ghost and his team onto Krichas area. Elementrix at the Dobromesto. Stalwart. This has been an ups and downs of a day for this team as well. But T2K, the team is looking pretty good inside the zone right now.
They are looking good, and it's kind of amazing to see that, all the teams are kind of separated except a few. Now, if you have a look at 7C Esports, they have R3D Esports pretty close by, but again, they have Trevno. Looks like R3D are moving a bit to the north. They are spread out, so they've got to be careful. If they get spotted out, if they get taken down, those revives are going to be difficult. And waiting, I mean,